How to move on when cheating spouse still denies affair. My wife and I met 11 years ago and have been married for over 9. I think it was over 5 years ago that we joined a new church and subsequently a new Bible study group type thing. It was led by a married couple that were about the same age as us. At first, my wife did not like the woman that was in charge of the group. Over time, they became friends and eventually best friends. I always thought we had a great marriage and excellent communication. Neither of us kept the other from doing their thing or enjoying their own interests and hobbies. We always had an open device policy. Not that we didn't trust the other, just grab the other person's phone and look at pictures they had taken of the cats and dogs or whatever. At one point I noticed that the texts between her and the new best friend had that sappy, just started dating kind of feel. Saying they loved each other, sending selfies, can't wait to see you again. It felt weird and I confronted her about it. She said that's just how I talk with my friends, we always say we love each other. Which was true, but these texts were different. What could I do though? I can't tell her not to hang out with or talk to her best friend, so life went on. They spent a lot of time together and would go out of town for concerts and share a hotel room, and likely bed. I know they did on several occasions. Again, it's her best friend and I had no reason to believe my wife may be bi or lesbian. She would stay the night at her place sometimes too, as they would stay up late playing D&D. Whatever, the other lady is married to a guy, right? At another point I found that she was deleting screenshots of deleted texts with this woman. These messages seemed pretty straightforward, as in something was going on. Can't wait till we can finally be together. WTF? What else can I make of this? Confronted her again. She said she knew that her texts had made me uncomfortable, so that's why she had deleted them, but obviously wasn't trying to hide them, as she knew I could still get to the deleted photos. I remember saying, what will happen if there is something here? People will ask if there were signs. And there are so many signs. She gave me the "don't you trust me," and life still went on. Then I found images on her laptop, this time with the husband of the woman. There was talk of an exit plan and about how he was nervous about his new role as a partner. What else could this mean? I called her and asked her to come home immediately. She did, and I was only able to ask what was going on and if she was leaving. She said she was, but then came up with this thing about how she's not happy and she doesn't think I was happy and she's exhausted from trying to make me happy. She denies that there is another relationship and is sticking with the happiness thing. After she left, I tore the house apart looking for some other evidence. I found a 9-page love letter that this woman had wrote her 3 years ago. I've seen pictures of them together since, and that's who she's currently living with. There's no repairing the marriage. She refuses couples therapy. I guess at the end of the day it doesn't really matter, but I just wish I knew the truth, even though I've pretty much seen it. I never knew her to lie. It's crazy that she did for months or years. Is she scared since she's not out of the closet? Embarrassed about being involved in some weird love triangle? Why keep the lie going? Did she want me to find out so I would leave her and she wouldn't have to? Since she left, people have sent me pictures of this other woman with her arm around her on social media. People that didn't hear any of these details were even assuming that she left for this woman, as they were a little too close. Comment. I think you know the truth. She's a cheater, and does it really matter now if she admits to what you know? I guess if it's really important you could reach out to the AP's husband to get the truth. Your WW most likely lied to him to get him to join them. It's not that you don't know the truth, because you do. You just want to hear her admit it? Like many betrayed spouses, for you, the continuing lying and gaslighting is even more damaging than the actual infidelity and betrayal. You are struggling to understand her behavior because you think from the perspective of a normal human being who has empathy, and can understand a sense of guilt and even pain when you hurt others and do wrong. Your wife is broken and is missing those qualities and attributes that make her behavior so inexplicable to you. Take solace in the fact that you are not capable of comprehending what she has chosen to do to you and others who trusted and believed in her. Dude, she cheated, man. I'm very sorry. Going through it myself. Don't look for closure from her. The only closure you're going to get is from yourself. You have enough information to expose her for the cheater she is, and I would start with her parents. Do not give her time to control the narrative. You better do, expose her, even if she is exposing herself in media. You said yourself that other people are reaching Tonya and sending pictures of her. So soon everybody will know, but it's better that your in-laws know the truth from you. Also, you have many evidence. Talk to a lawyer and try to not give her nothing. She doesn't deserve anything. Why do you need to hear her admit the truth, when you have the evidence already? Sounds like she's the type of person who would never admit to being the bad one. There is no reason you can't move on. There isn't any reason you can't speak your truth. Your marriage ended because your wife was cheating on you with her affair partner / BFF. There is no reason you have to cover for your abuser, as cheating is abuse. Time to find your own healing. Have you filed for divorce? I hope you have. You deserve better. Next story 2. I am having issues recovering from the cheating trauma my boyfriend of 9 years has caused. A little background first. Me and my boyfriend this October, 2023, will have been 9 years together. We have a house, own a dog breeding business together, both have wonderful jobs and we rarely fight or argue. My boyfriend is an amazing man. He's funny, he takes care of me, he is my best friend, and he's just overall a sweet soul. Although he has cheated on me several times, only once physically. Most of them happened when we were still long distance. He lived in Texas and I lived in Illinois, but when he moved here with me, he took his nasty habit to the internet. It wasn't personal relationships that I had found, but instead he had a horrible issue with OnlyFans, liking lewd pictures on social media, and tipping and commenting on cam sites. None of the women even resembled my body type or likeness. I say had because I haven't caught wind of him doing this anymore recently, but maybe he's just gotten better at hiding it. It destroyed my confidence and self-worth and was overall a really dark time for me. Which is what brings me here. I have seen an effort in him trying to better himself. I see him putting more work into the relationship and trying to be more observant and respectful of my feelings and insecurities. I haven't caught him doing any of the things listed above in a few months, but for some unknown reason, randomly I'll get the feeling something is wrong. I get an urge to go through every account and search to see if he has made new accounts, all of which through my phone BC it starts a fight when I look at his. I start looking and even when I've gone through everything I have access to and there is nothing. I still feel like I'm being betrayed. This doesn't affect my feelings for him in any way, but I get so anxious and angry at myself for not finding anything. It's almost an addiction. I was so conditioned to seeing smut on his phone that I can't accept that there isn't any. And in all honesty there probably isn't anything to find. But I'm turning to you guys, the strangers of Reddit, for advice on how to handle these urges or ways to talk to him about it without sounding like I'm accusing him. Or maybe I'm missing something and these feelings are valid. Just all advice welcomed. I've got tough skin, so if you feel the urge to call me an idiot I can take it. I've just exhausted my knowledge of how to handle it because ignoring it isn't the way to go. Comnet. I tried not going through his phone even though my gut told me throughout our almost 10-year long distant relationship that something was off. He would get defensive if I asked to check and I usually wouldn't find anything even after digging through everything I could think of. Fast forward to today, now that we live together. I found everything he had hidden for years while long distance. He cheated physically once, that I'm aware of, and was on dating apps, trying to hook up / sext, all the bad things. Anyhow, I've checked his phone only twice since I found out and have found nothing. My gut tells me he's gotten better at hiding. It's hard to stay with someone who has betrayed you, we both know this too well. I think it's just a result of the trust we'll never fully regain again when staying with a partner that's cheated. It's hard to move on, and yet logically I understand I deserve more. I'm wishing you lots of luck and I genuinely hope things have gone in a positive path for you too. Don't ignore your gut feeling. Most likely it's right and there's something going on. Personally, I think that in situations where your gut is telling you there's something wrong, you shouldn't instantly bring it out to them. You should investigate first and gather evidence, if there's truly something going on. If you tell them straight away, you're tipping them off and they'll just get better at hiding it. Do your research, keep looking. You may not find anything now, but it's likely that at some point, he'll lower his guard and something will slip through. And if you don't find anything for a while but you're still feeling there's something and you can't bear with it anymore, you could always then talk to him, and if he doesn't manage to put you at ease, you could consider leaving. He had done it in the past, so he already damaged you, and he could do it again. You realize you've never had a moment of development as a teen or a woman without him and his influence. And him finding something in common wa 13 is odd to say the least. This isn't like a 13 and 14 he could drive and you were a middle schooler. You don't know what a healthy relationship is like. I'd say break up and go to therapy. This is a horribly toxic environment and you need to develop on your own. I hate to be default redditor and beat the leave him honey.